All right, one take. You ready? Let's do this. This week's Texas Weekly Update is going to be much better than the last one. Got out 2 different days this past weekend, both on Saturday and on Monday, Martin Luther King Day, and did some fishing both days. Kind of different setups both days, but some things that were similar. 2 hours apart, these 2 locations, so definitely different patterns. But let's break it down and talk about it because there's some really cool stuff I want to share. And I'll give you a heads up too of what's coming because there's a lot of videos that are about to hit the channel. First of all, Saturday, I did go to a private lake. So I'll always disclose to you if I was fishing public or private because I think it somewhat matters. And I don't ever want to give anyone a false sense of security or a false sense of hope or a false impression that I'm out crushing it on a private lake that I'm not telling you, while people are maybe out fishing a bigger public lake and not catching any fish. So I want to disclose those things to you. Hope you appreciate that. So anyways, Saturday I'm fishing a private lake. It is not a part of private water fishing, just a buddy, actually my brother's friend's grandfather's, anyways, a buddy's property. And we've caught fish there before. So we went there hoping to, catch some good fish, and sure enough, that's what we did. Now let me tell you a little bit about the property because it will play into then what I thought would work on Monday, which is a public place and bank fishing. So here's how I'm going to connect those 2 dots. First of all, Saturday, about a 10 to 15 acre lake, went out on the kayaks, or I took my inflatable kaboat. We fished for several hours in the morning and actually did not get hardly many bites at all because we were fishing all slower moving baits. So we were fishing craws, jigs, stuff like that, because we thought that was what was going to work. And in fact, that's not what worked. They wanted moving baits. Now, this particular small lake has a 12-foot creek channel running through it, has hydrilla and other timber kind of up shallow. So we went more up shallow, but probably 15 or 20 yards off the bank, and ended up finding some hydrilla that was dying back but still there, so because it's got green in it. So you want to find hydrilla that's got green in it, not the brown stuff but the green stuff. So some healthy hydrilla. Started throwing moving baits and figured out pretty quickly that's what they wanted. They didn't want it slow, they wanted moving baits. So the 2 things that worked really well at that particular place was, first of all, the new electric shad egg zone swimmer. Hang on, let me straighten that on the hook because that's a little wonky. That's a little bit better. All right, egg zone swimmer, the new electric shad color. That's a 4-inch swimmer, and I'm throwing that on a 5/0 EWG screw lock hook, 1/4 ounce, and that is the Bass Assassin swim jig head that I told you guys about before. But I was using that, caught several good fish, and then just to see if they would also bite maybe something different, I switched over and started using the green gizzard shad color of the Red Eye Shad by Strike King. I'll show you that. That actually came in my January Monster Bass box, and you'll notice I leave the tag end pretty long. That's because when you're fishing it through grass, that's just one more thing to get hung up. Not that it really matters that much with treble hooks, but the fish don't care. So I leave my tag end a little bit long on these, but also notice the tag end is pointing backwards from the lure. So anyways, that green gizzard Red Eye Shad by Strike King, and they crushed both of them. Probably caught, well, I was going to take the numbers and the size, but I'm going to save that for the actual on the water video. So I'm going to post a video, and it's going to be comparing a hard bait to a soft plastic swim bait, which one caught more numbers and which one caught more size. So you can leave a comment below, and then I'll tell you if you were right on the video to come in a couple of days. But they were eating both of them. I mean, we caught some really good fish. My brother and I caught some really good fish on both of those lures. I will tell you really quickly, I've said it before, but I'm going to keep saying it because it's that phenomenal. The TFO Tactical Glass Bass Rod for throwing lipless cranks, square bill, medium diving, deep diving cranks, depending upon which rod you get, and also chatterbaits. This is a 7.4 medium heavy. So I'm throwing mid diving cranks, lipless cranks, and chatterbaits all on this rod. And let me tell you, it's phenomenal. The way this rod loads especially with a smaller bait. I'm sorry, a smaller treble hook bait and a moving bait. The way it loads with those treble hooks is incredible. I have yet to lose a single fish on a lipless crank with this rod, meaning I'm 100% effective on hookup ratios. Now, I throw that on 17-pound fluorocarbon, usually because I'm throwing a chatterbait and a lipless crank, and I can get away with heavier fluorocarbon, especially when I'm ripping out of grass. Whereas with my paddle tail swim bait, I'm throwing this on 20-pound fluorocarbon and the Tactical Elite bass rod with those sweet wing grips on a 7.3 heavy is why I'm using that for my swim baits. So those are the two rod setups. That's for Saturday, sunny conditions, no clouds in the sky, about an 8-mile-an-hour wind. So it was slow. So I threw both of those slow, and it really didn't matter on the lipless crank if I was yo-yoing it or just a steady retrieve. They were kind of eating both of them. However, on the swim bait, I literally had to just crawl it along the bottom. So just right over the tips of the grass, really slow. And then when they would bite it, it wasn't like it was a faster bite where you feel the boom boom in the summer. It was more of just a slow grab. And you almost had to kind of lift up to check if they were there and then set the hook. Obviously, because it's a heavier gauge hook. So it's a different bite that I was getting on the paddle tail swim bait, the X-Zone Swimmer, versus the summer. So bass are a little bit colder, or a lot colder. They're moving a little bit slower. The bite in general, like when they actually bite it, was a little bit slower as well. So I had to let them kind of take a little bit, check on, make sure they're there, and then set the hook. You'll see that in the video, and I kind of describe that. So you'll see that on the water. Now, fast forward to Monday. Today's Tuesday, but fast forward to, I guess, yesterday, but to Monday. Because many of you bank fish, and quite honestly, that's, I mean, where I got started was bank fishing. I love to bank fish when I'm short on time or maybe the conditions aren't right to take the boat out. I will go out and bank fish. So that's what I did. I said, you know what? You guys have asked for more bank fishing content, so let's go do that. Let's go bank fish, but let's see if this application would still work. Now, the place I went is a public neighborhood lake. Anybody can go there. And I took both of these same things. I actually took, I mean, they're still tied on. This is what I went and fished with, and only caught one fish. It was about a 15-mile-an-hour wind, cloudy skies, and I went from maybe 8 to noon. It was about that long? Yeah, about 8 to noon Monday morning, and caught one fish, but it was also on another lipless crank. Not this one. It was actually on a rattle trap. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw that picture. But it was on a rattle trap, and the same thing. I was reeling it really slow. I would come across grass. I would kind of pop it up a little bit, not hard jerks, but just kind of pop it up a little bit. And that fish just came up, and it just loaded into it and landed it with that rod. So I can't say enough about those TFO rods. And your lipless cranks, especially your red eye shad, but even those rattle traps, you can get all of those and the TFO rods all at Shills. So as you guys know, I love Shills. They're fantastic. They're great people and an amazing store. And this video is brought to you by Shills. So make sure you check them out at the location in the colony or online at shills.com. They've got some great stuff and amazing selection and really good prices too. So that's pretty much it. That's a rundown of Saturday and on Monday. Drop a comment below if you got any questions about either of those techniques or applications, setups, what I was using, etc. And look for the on the water video. There's going to be 2 coming this week. One, fishing out of the kayak using both of those 2 lures. And then the second one, bank fishing. And you'll see how I caught them there. And I describe it all again as I'm walking around the bank. So anyways, that's it, guys. One take. I try not to mess up too much there. But one take. Thanks for watching this video. Thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing. And until next time, if nobody told you today, God loves you. And so do I. Peace out.